Hearthstone needs a snap mode, and I'd like to explain why. I'm probably not the only one that's ever thought of this or the only one that's come up with this idea or made a video about it, but I just wanted to talk about it really quick. And first things first, this is going to talk about Marvel Snap, but this is not entirely about Marvel Snap. There's going to be back and forth, and it is about Hearthstone. But the reason I wanted to bring this up, because you know, there's one commodity that's not readily available and all over the place, and you have tons of it or what have you, and that's time. You know, everything that you're doing right now takes time, and all of these game companies are working to, you know, get as much time as possible into their games, and they're going to do whatever they can to do it. And that's one of the things that I was thinking of this week. And this is the Friday video, so we're going to go through. First of all, let's go back a little bit. Everybody knows this face. I would imagine a lot of people that play Hearthstone know this face. A lot of people that play Marvel Snap know this face. This is Ben Brode. And Ben Brode is an American video game designer and a rapper. This is his Wikipedia link right here. He was the game director and the public face of Hearthstone until 2018, when around the time that I started, maybe a little bit earlier than that. And then he left to found his own game studio, Second Dinner. And this is the cute logo for Second Dinner. This is awesome. So listen, he is one of the first people I saw talking or interacting with me about this game. And I mean me, not that he was calling me up on the phone, but me that, you know, when they were at BlizzCon, or they were doing events, or they were talking about a new game, expansion or what have you. This is the face I saw, and I love Hearthstone. I'm pretty sure you guys know that by now, but if not, I really like Hearthstone. It's a very fun game. You guys should try it. And then, listen, when he left, I was bummed and I was upset, but there was reasons to be excited because, listen, he made the game that I love so much. And then he said that he's going to be working on a game for Marvel Comics. And if you know me, yes, Hearthstone is my jam 100%. But if I have another passion, if I didn't have a Hearthstone channel, it would probably be something with Marvel Comics. Comic books is my jam as well. Been reading them for even longer, since I was playing video games. And yeah, he made Hearthstone. So Ben Brode was making a game with Marvel Comics, and I love his laugh. This is a reason to get excited. If you don't know him by his voice, you know it by his laugh. His laugh is infectious. And then he said it's going to be a mobile game. And that's very cool, because I don't have the time to sit around, you know, at my desk for long periods of time and play. When I'm sitting at my desk, maybe it's OCD, maybe it's some sort of other things. I like to work. And then when I'm not sitting at my desk, I like to play video games and stuff like that. So mobile games is my jam. Playing on the iPad, playing on the phone, or what have you. I was super excited to hear about the game. And then I got into the beta test, and the beta test was not even like a true, like I could just play on my phone. Like I had to get an Android emulator to play or what have you. It was fun, but it wasn't Hearthstone. Okay. And the reason I love Hearthstone is listen, the game art is first and foremost for me. You know, when I'm looking at the art of Snap, I like some of the art, but I like some of the artists that are going through it. I don't like all of the ultra stylized, if you will, or the ultra realistic. I don't like to see the ultra realistic card art. It's subjective. It doesn't matter. There's someone that maybe not like what I do. So it's completely subjective. But yeah, I don't like all of the art or what have you. But Hearthstone has a consistency. Across the board, almost all of it is, and it was hard for me to try to put into perspective, so I started going through and started looking at pictures, and this is what Hearthstone stands out. There's like the bigger arms and the bigger legs and the ultra stylized and, like, you know, more exaggerated proportions. Look at this book art. Look at the pages. The pages look like each one of them weigh a pound. There's like weight to all of the art, and there's no consistency in Marvel Snap, so that's not what it is. Gameplay, I feel that gameplay is really different in a good way on Hearthstone. You have so much more options to choose from. You have so many more things that you can do, if you will. There's a lot of modes. So if I'm not interested in playing Standard, I'll play Battlegrounds. If I'm not interested in playing Battlegrounds and I don't want to do Standard, I could even rerun some of the solo modes. There's just so much you can do with it. And with Marvel Snap, you just essentially, hey, listen, you're going to play whatever cards you have, and that's was it. And then we'll talk about monetization. One of the things that got me like not into Snap as much as I love Hearthstone and as much as I play Hearthstone was the monetization. So you can play this game, Hearthstone, you can play that without spending a lot of money. We all know this. There is, right now, you can play decks, go all the way up from bronze to legend with less than 1,000 dust, way less than 1,000 dust. I felt there was a point in time with the monetization and with the amount of cards that you can get in Snap, you couldn't play whatever you wanted. You were locked into like, hey, this is what you had, and maybe if you play enough, you'll be able to get some of the cards, but you couldn't just go buy the cards. And then the monetization of it's crazy. I'm not paying $100 for a card. I'm just not going to do it. And that's where it looks like. The monetization is nuts in Marvel Snap, and that's just not one of the things I'm interested in doing. I like to spend my money, absolutely. I spend my money on Hearthstone. I feel that the value for the dollar that you spend in Hearthstone, no matter how many people are complaining about monetization with the diamond cards and the ultra rare cards and the ones that jump up and grab you a beer from the fridge, it's just, I'm okay with it. Another thing is communication. So I'm not saying this is tried and true, but I feel like Hearthstone now has their communication locked in. They've been much more responsive, much more communicative. Maybe the message isn't great, and maybe not everybody likes what they have to say, but the fact that they're saying it as much as they are, and I've seen a couple of instances, and Marvel Snap has not been out for a long period of time. Marvel Snap is very new, and there's been a lot of situations. Well, I can't say a lot of. There's been a couple of situations that it was almost like frowned upon in the Discords, and hearing some of the complaints about, the game Marvel Snap, and the developers kind of shied away a little bit. My interpretation could be completely off. This is just my interpretation of the scenarios, and yeah, you might not like everything that's happening in Hearthstone, but listen, they're not prone to mistakes. No one's prone to never ever make a mistake, but at least they're going through and being like, yep, we made a mistake on that one. So to me, communication is pretty good on the Hearthstone side as opposed to Snap. But there's the one thing that really stuck out today is things that I think Snap got right 100% is just play. And it's important to remember that we talked about this a couple of slides down. I said, time is something we don't have a lot of. I do not have a lot of time. I had 20 minutes to play a game today, between, this meeting and this meeting and this meeting and, before I started work or what have you. And then I have 4 minutes here, 3 minutes here, 2 minutes here. I love the idea that I can just go on to Snap. If you have a deck that's kind of fun to play, if you're enjoying it or what have you, you can play games immediately. You can play games immediately within 2 clicks. You're started, you're playing, you're done in 3 minutes. I could jam 3 or 4 games in the same time it would take one game of Hearthstone. And that's bummed out to me, because I'll sit there, okay, I'm about to go do this, or I need to do this, or I need to do this. I can't just pick up a game for 5 minutes, go ahead and play a 3-minute match and be done with it. I need to sit around for, 10 minutes potentially, even longer than that. You've seen it. There's games that you've had that's lasted 20 plus minutes, and it's just a back and forth and everything. And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But I sit there and say, I can't play Hearthstone right now because I have less time than I know it's going to take. And then also, with the game, Hearthstone, you've got to sit there and like, okay, what deck is running this way? What deck is running this way? I don't feel that that's as complicated in the Snap game as it is in Hearthstone. Like, I played 3 games today of Hearthstone, and I realized that these decks were definitely not teched for this meta right now. I got smoked on those, and that's fine. It's my fault for playing them that way, but it's just I can't just pick it up and go and play the game really quick, and that's a little bit of a bummer to me, but I think I have a solution. I know I'm a genius, whatever. Hearthstone speed mode, and it makes perfect sense to do this. I like the idea. Please let me know in the comments if you like the idea. So it would be like this. It would just be speed mode. So it's, you got 15 health. You have 15 cards to choose from. So with those two, games should not take that crazy long. You know, you could easily play these games in less than 5 minutes. And that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for something that's a much faster mode. You have 15 cards. You can do some crazy combos here and there. You can build decks around this. And we've seen it in some of the Tavern Brawls. We really have. We've seen some of the Tavern Brawls where you're only putting a couple of cards in. Maybe they round out more. I think there's something here. And then instead of the timer being as long as it is, shorten the timer down. And I don't even know if 45 seconds is the right type of thing. If you're going into this mode, you want to play fast. If Nozdormu card can make it to where your turns are 15 seconds, and that's a play type in the game, yes, certain conditions or what have you, we can make the timer much less and know that you're going into, and it doesn't have to be speed mode. It could be burst mode. It could be whatever you want to call it. I'm not good at naming video games. I've never done one before. There's smarter people than me. And then maybe the idea would be, listen, let's not make it super busted to where it's just a single player game and you just make the crazy combos. The Tavern Brawl that came out this week, the one where you had to have the Shadow Reflections or what have you. I put in 3 cards, let Shadow Reflections do the rest, and the game was done in 2 turns. It was just not worth it for the opponent to play. So I'm saying what we could do is we could have a curated card pool for this mode. And it could be that, and I'm not even saying not to, or I'm not saying to definitely, create cards specifically for this mode like they did with Caverns of Time. You could do it. You don't have to do it or what have you. If I know that I have, 700 cards that I can play in this speed mode, and maybe it doesn't have to be all classes. Maybe it's 3 or 4 classes. Maybe you're throwing the mercenary classes that we've had in the past, or like the Book of Heroes, or the Book of Mercenaries, or something like that. It doesn't even have to have the essential classes like Mage and Demon Hunter and Death Knight. Something like this is a test. I love the idea for this. And then, putting those specific cards in the game, regardless of what it is, would not cause that, craziness of, I've got 3 cards and I'm just killing it with those 3 cards and that's all I'm doing. That's my thoughts on this. I love the idea. I'd love to know your thoughts. I'm sure, like I said, I'm not the only one that talked about this. So like, comment, subscribe. Tell me how stupid of an idea this is, or tell me this is the best thing you've ever heard. And, Team 5 needs to jump on it immediately. I'm excited to hear your thoughts, and I will see you in the next video.